Hey y'all, hey, it's me, the Sepia Scholar, and I'm out in these streets, missing you guys. Hope this video finds you happy, loved, and blessed. Dropping in for a minute. I told you guys I am going to try to do a video a day, so there's gonna be a lot of short subjects that I want to talk about, and the one that I want to talk about today is love languages. Love languages, y'all. So this gets brought up a lot in my friend group and the people that I'm around. And so you know how I am, since I'm a scholar, I don't like to just, run my mouth about certain things. I actually want to understand and kind of find out where things come from. So, like I said, we're talking about love languages. We're going to chat about them. And then I think we're going to check out a video from one of my favorite content creators. She's everything. She's hilarious. You'll know who it is as soon as I bring her video up. Girl, I'm not trying to take your I'm not trying to take your content. I am just reacting to it. Fair use, fair use, fair use. But I love her down. But before we do that, I'm gonna talk about the love languages, and maybe we're gonna grab a couple of TikTok videos and see, uh, what people are talking about in these streets. So if you don't know who I am V the Sepia Scholar. My channel is about love, happiness. We're going to talk about grown up conversations, different subjects. I've been out in these YouTube streets. I stepped off for a minute, but I'm trying to do better and come back and hang out with you guys. So let's chat a little bit about the love languages. So basically, the concept of love languages came from a book by Dr. Gary Chapman, a marriage counselor and an author. Basically, what he in the book came out in 1992. My God, I don't want to say how old I am, but it was the five love languages or whatever. And the origin and idea behind it, Chapman noticed that in his counseling practice, that couples often misunderstood each other's expressions of love. He realized that people tend to give and receive love in different ways, and when partners don't speak the same emotional language, the affection can get lost in translation. Who you telling, sir? Who you telling? So the languages are words of affirmation, which is like verbal appreciation and encouragement, acts of service, doing helpful things for one another, receiving gifts, thoughtful tokens of affection, quality time, which is undivided attention and shared experiences, and physical touch, which is hugs, kisses, and other forms of closeness. The idea took off because it gave people a simple framework to understand each other's emotional needs. It's now used widely in therapy, education, all the heck on TikTok, even in the workplace, to figure out what love languages are. And it also could be tied to psychological um, type attachment styles. You know how people are always talking about anxious attachment, different things like that. Depending on what your attachment style is, it is definitely tied to your love language, right? So, the different types of attachment styles and how it ties is like if you're anxious attachment, we want to start with that. No, so let's do secure attachment first. That means you're comfortable with closeness, often flexible with your love language. So I think that's me. My love language is what? All of them. Depending on what my mood is, where I am in life, I basically can swing through all of them. And I think as a human, we all kind of swing through all of them. So like I said, secure attachment, it is tied to all of them. Um, at the risk of sounding like Tony Gaskins, y'all forgive me. You know, people when people always call right in the middle of these dang on things, but we are talking about attachment and how that ties to love language, right? So we got different types of attachment or whatever, and basically how you got your caregiving as a young child. Basically, creates what languages that what attachment style you have. For secure attachment, you're comfortable with closeness and independence, often flexible with love languages. So you can give and receive love in multiple ways. Why? Because you grew up with consistent care. So you don't rely on one specific proof of love. If you're anxious attachment, you crave reassurance and closeness, often prefers words of affirmation or quality time. Maybe that's, I kind of like that. These languages soothe the fears of abandonment. Avoidant attachment values independence and emotional space, often prefers acts of service or gifts. Why? Because these expressions feel less intrusive than emotional intimacy or physical touch. Disorganized attachment wants closeness but fears love. So theirs can be inconsistent. There's actually a running joke. Um, Before I say that, your love language actually often reflects a kind of emotional reassurance your attachment system is wired to seek. So now that we've gotten through all the scholarly side of things, let's go ahead and talk about, like I said, what my love languages are: quality time, and gifts. Do I like physical? Yeah, hell yeah. Hell yeah. But my attachments aren't really set up that way. So I definitely like quality time. If I don't see you, I don't know you. And that's a running joke with me and one of my friends. Shout out to Horace, the Horace Towns from the Black Super Friends. I told him I run a strict program over here, and he was like, "So do you need to have somebody text you every 5 minutes?" I was like, "Absolutely not. You're going to get on my nerves." But if you can go an entire day without reaching out to me, I'm probably gonna forget about you because that's the way that I'm set up. Pray for me. I'm sorry. That's just the way that I'm set up. So, but this is supposed to be a quick chat. I did notice that a lot of dudes' emotional attachment is tied to, every time you ask a dude what their emotional attachment is, they always say physical touch. Touch, touch me, tease me. Oh, my bad. Physical touch. It's because they always be wanting to smash. They say they're highly sexual because we on YouTube, highly sexual. So they want to touch, they want to be in close proximity, and then you can do all that without having any emotional attachment, according to them. So it would make sense that physical touch is their actual main love language. But let's go check out what they talking about on TikTok. I wanted to go through a couple of videos if I can get this bad boy to work. Um, let's see what they talking about over there. So I put in love languages. Like I said, for me, dudes are mostly tied to physical touch. Mine is more tied to quality time, although physical touch is a thing, but I definitely like gifts. Words of affirmation are always good, but let's see what good sis is talking about here. Shout out to Cash Money.
You ask your
Oh, that's
average man
cool.
what his love language is, probably going to tell you physical touch. I used to joke around a lot about that. I used to make that a joke, like, oh, anytime you ask a man what his love language is, he's going to tell you physical touch. He always want to touch on you, until I realized, I made a post a couple years ago, and basically under the comments, a lot of men were saying the reason why their love language is physical touch because they don't get hugs or they don't get that physical affection anymore like they used to when they were kids.
Is
So
that right?
imagine, like, you're men are human. Imagine as a kid, you stop getting hugged at like maybe 10 or 15 years old. Your mom stops hugging you. Your dad stops hugging you. Grandma's not hugging and kissing you anymore. She's not around to hug and kiss you anymore. So, of course, what you're missing is going to be what your love language is.
Mm.
So, imagine you don't have anyone hugging you or kissing you from your immediate family, friends or family, whatever. Of course, you're going to want that in a romantic relationship, because the only way you're going to get it is when you're in a relationship, when you're being romantic or being intimate with someone for a romantic reason. So
Is that the only way? Thank you, sis. Thank you for speaking on that. Is that the only way that you're going to be able to get that? Because there's ways that you can hug and touch on each other without having it go all the way there, and it doesn't always have to be tied to romantic. There's certain people that I'm cool with that I'm quick to give them a hug. Let's see. Let's see what this
Today, I
dude
want to
talking
tell
about.
you the love language of women.
Oh, you gonna tell us about women?
When she texts first, you know what she does? She's literally telling you that she's missing you more than she can admit. This is the reason why she's always texting you first. This is a love language, my friend. You have to internalize.
Let me stop them there because you know they love to copyright us us for music. So texting first means that she's missing you. I can rock with that based on the standards that I just gave out a couple minutes ago. Let's see what this other dude is talking about before we get out of here. What is Rick's love languages?
My love languages are physical touch,
Uh,
quality time, acts of service. Translation: for those of you who treat it like it's advanced calculus or rocket science, it means if I like you, I'm going to want to be around you. If I'm around you, I'm going to touch you. I'm going to be affectionate. I'm going to bite you, kiss you, pull
oh,
you close,
not you
devour
biting.
you. And if you care about me, you'll actually show me effort.
Oh,
I know, crazy concept,
it's
right?
not a crazy concept, Rick. It's not a crazy concept. I actually agree, and I actually agree with his three love languages. Those maybe my main ones. So Rick might know what he's talking about a little bit. I don't know about biting people or devour. I'm not mad at it. Let's check out one more person before I move on.
Hi, how was your day? It was rough. What was that? Oh, sorry, no, you just caught me off guard. I just asked you a question. I thought you were going to reply with more than one sentence. So, oh, yeah, I kind of don't really want to talk about it. I just want to cuddle with you. Okay, cool. Yeah, we could definitely cuddle after we have a conversation. I haven't
Woo,
seen you all
hold
day. I
on,
want to
she just
catch
triggered
up.
me a little bit. She just triggered me a little bit. Yeah, I really cannot stand people um who don't communicate. I can't. I can't do it. I saw this video the other day where the lady was like, the current dating scene has taught us that dudes aren't gonna really tell you when they don't like you anymore, or they don't want to be with you anymore. They kind of ghost you and disappear. So if you stop communicating, the assumption is that you don't want to be with that person anymore. And it may be loud and wrong, but since nobody's really communicating their needs and wants, and everybody's too cool to actually explain what they have going on, I think that's why a lot of relationships are not working out. I'm not surprised at that because people genuinely don't know how to communicate anymore. Hell, people barely can read. Have you seen those videos where they have those poor people trying to read? It's a scary, scary situation, y'all, out here in these streets. But let's take a quick moment. Let's do a shout out to the sponsor, right quick. All right, our sponsor is You Don't Location the Book. Yes, written by you know who, your girl, me. It's actually pretty popular out in these streets. If you saw my last video, you know that I actually got interview. Well, I have a big interview in the Haitian Times. I have several interviews out in several big time publications, but I did one with this awesome reporter named Fabian. Hey, Fabian, what's up? What's up? Through the Miami Book Fair, and it was a really cool interview. He did a great job with it. So if you haven't seen it, check it out. Maybe I'll find the link and put it here at some point. But the other thing that we need to do is so we know that my moniker is the Sepia Scholar, what we learning today, and we learn about love languages today. But if you like hanging out here, if you like what you hear, I told y'all I'm low-key shadow banned because my behind has not been coming on here. So they show people my stuff when they feel like it because they're like, girl, we don't even know if you coming outside. We don't even know if you coming on here to talk. Why would we advertise you? Uh, So do me a favor and hit the like button. If you're loving what you're seeing, hit subscribe. I promise you I'm dropping more videos. I am gonna do better. I'm probably gonna do Jessie Wu did something where she talked about the top cheaters of the Caribbean, baby. Let's see if she knows what she's talking about. So I'll probably do that video tomorrow. But make sure you hit the like button, subscribe, drop a comment. What's your love language? Let me know you stopped by. Leave what your love language, your top one. I know there's more than one. Leave your top love language in the comment or just hit the like. share it with a friend. Let me know what you've been thinking about or whatever. So with that being said, let me go ahead and see if I could pull up this Geraldine video real quick. Let me see if I can learn how to use my own StreamYard. If you don't know who Geraldine is, she is Indescribable is her actual name. Her social media name. And she is hilarious. The main star of her videos is her, right? But the other star of her videos are her wig. And she's talking about basically how she knew her marriage was over on her wedding day. Fair use, fair use, fair use. But I think it speaks a lot to when people's love languages don't match. So I will be pausing and stopping the video in between. Why? Because this is her shit. I think the video's been going long enough for me to be able to cut. And I don't want to steal her whole content, right? Because I'm reacting to it because fair use. And let's get into it. And it's sped up too. So hey girl, hey, oh I love her shirt. I match energy, but hey girl, hey, why my marriage was over on my wedding day. Let's kick it off.
Do I wish I had never gotten married? Absolutely. But you know what I hated more than the marriage? The wedding.
The wedding. I love her.
My wedding was like $5,000. I didn't have no debt from the wedding. But oh my God, the amount of people that RSVP that didn't even show up.
Okay, so her wedding being $5,000, that is very, very reasonable. I'm not mad at it. I love it. I love it. I love it. But that RSVP thing is an actual thing. I've had people fall out because they didn't get invited to a wedding, but I've had to explain to people 50 times, yes, I've been married. Do I plan on getting married again? I'm still thinking on it, but 95% chance, yes. It just got to be the right person, the right vibes, all those things. But people fall out over the RSVP, y'all. And it's because you actually have to pay per plate, y'all. It's not like back in the day where Auntie Sue, Aunt Bam, and all these other people come out and cook your food, and everybody shows up and eats until the people leave. These are at venues, my love. These are at venues. They charge per head. So showing up without being invited is just as bad as RSVPing and not showing up. You ain't so
To the wedding. So now I got to pay for food that's going to go in the trash. The amount of people that didn't RSVP and then brought their regular ass to the wedding dressed out of the dress code. Because I don't even remember who this person was, but they had on a blood red suit.
Not you showing up looking like not you showing up and whatever the hell. Okay, so just in case you don't know, a lot of these weddings nowadays have a color scheme. A color scheme. And you try to meet it, you don't have to. But my whole thing is don't show up in just a drastically different color, or don't show up. I know y'all, a lot of people meet at weddings and fall in love and everything, but showing up with like you about to hit Rachel's, right after is crazy. We don't stay your butt home. Stay your butt home. You need just super trash or whatever. What we like to show up to the wedding is people dressed appropriately, still little yang, looking good, clean, looking good. Shout out to my cousin Pierre. His wedding was everything. People did the thing there. Beautiful wedding. Show up dressed. Bring a gift, y'all, or a card. People who bring gifts and a card, y'all the real MVPs. You sitting at the table they assigned you to. The bride and groom took time to put that all together. Not for your behind to show up and just remix. If I get married again, there's a couple things that I know that I'm not going to do. It's going to be small. One, two. I may or may not wear white. I got favorite colors. But baby, exactly who I want to be there is who gonna be there. I don't want to have a wedding to show off for people. I want people who I love and care about me and the person I'm about to marry to enjoy the experience. I don't care if it's 5 people and we just hitting that thing. That's what I want, y'all. This is the way that people just show up and act like it's just like, first of all, weddings are expensive as hell. And letting random people show up to your shit is just like, it's just clown behavior, y'all. Just clown behavior. Nobody, it's like, you don't like me. You don't like my dude. You just want, I'm like, I'm confused as to why you're here. Like, the math ain't mathing, y'all. The math ain't mathing. So I just need you to go. But let me listen to my good sis talk about. I told y'all it's gonna be paused. If you here to watch, you can go watch a video on her page. Geraldine Indescribable Lake, baby.
Blood red suit, and I knew they wasn't part of my family. I knew it had to be his family because what? Let me stay on topic. I think the thing that was most stressful about planning the wedding was coordinating all the people. I love my family, but I have a huge family. I'm talking about my mom and my dad's side. My parents are married, so I've always had access to both my mom and my dad's side. The thing that I love the most is that the people.
If you haven't watched her content, her dad is everything, and they love each other now. But yeah, shout out to that.
People that wanted to be there, they were there, and they showed up for me, and they did exactly what they were supposed to do. I still, to this day, appreciate my matron of honor. And my best friend who acted as like an usher or a hostess. She did a wonderful job. My uncle was security at the door in case anybody thought they was going to stand up and object. Put it on them. You already know what time it is.
I actually watched the video. I'm sorry, I hate to interrupt you there, but I actually watched a video where the lady found out that her husband invited his mistress to the lady that he made sure that to come to the wedding was his mistress the whole time. When I say the audacity, y'all, when I say the audacity, baby, look, that's what, I don't like Young Miami's like attitude, her music. Spin that. Spin that. It's all right. But I see what she be saying, because these dudes, the most single person you're going to meet in your life is a married man, baby. The most single person you're going to meet in your life is going to be a married man. Shout out to the married man who's single as hell.
But just accommodating people and their feelings on a day that should have been reserved for me and my feelings. I did not like that, y'all. The amount of people that wanted to come and tell me they had a problem with a decision that I made after my wedding can go to hell. Okay, and then
all the way
not to mention, y'all, I'm divorced anyway. So that pissed me off. Y'all, let me tell you when I should have known.
I'm going to interrupt her real quick. So I was confused too, because I could have sworn I saw this lady's wedding pictures, and then a few, like, later on, I see her portraying single. I said, oh, something must have happened. But guess what? That ain't my business. That ain't my business. But I said, it be real. You think you found the one, and it ain't it, baby. It ain't it.
When I should have known that the wedding was going to be the last happy time I would have in that relationship, because I had an agreement with my then fiance that we were going to write our own vows and we were going to have them completed before the ceremony, right? I should not have trusted him to do this. I should have known based on other situations that he had failed to come through and that he would not be able to complete this task. He ends up on the day of the wedding. Now, the wedding is like, I don't know, 3 or 4 o'clock. He's toasted by noon. Toasted. His homeboy flew into town and he's convinced him to get plastered and speak from the heart.
Oh my God. Okay. So not only was he toasted, he spoke from the heart. No, you don't let it. No. And see, I'm getting triggered a little bit, because one thing I can't stand is a dude who cannot finish a task, dog. Look, the really be I can't stand a dude that cannot finish a task, or a person who makes a promise and they do not follow through. I can't stand it, y'all. Okay, let's keep it moving. What this man done did with these vows?
Speak from the heart. I don't know who you thought you were, but why would you? You mean the first thing you're gonna do as husband and wife is go against something that we already agreed upon? That was one of my first red flags.
Red flag.
Oh my God. And him sitting up there, I still remember, if I can find the footage somewhere, I would post it, but I don't even want to be tied to that man no more. Y'all, that man was up there swaying. He was literally on the camera like this. That's how drunk he was. Talk about embarrassing. And then got up there and told all my friends and family that all I had to do was wake up and he was going to handle the rest. That you don't know me very well at all. I'm not a wake up and handle the rest type of person. That's not even in my DNA. I'm gonna get up and get it done. And if you say you're gonna do something, I'm checking behind you to make sure you did it. until you show me that I can trust you. I should have never did it. I should have never did it. I should have never did it. Oh my God, I should have never did it. This man from day one did not care about what I wanted. I was not an equal part or a partner to him in that relationship. It was.
Oh Lord, why I watch this video, y'all? I'm about to get mad all over again. Oh God. Okay, so let's tie it into the love languages. So it sounds like her main love language is acts of service. So when your love language is acts of service and the person cannot fully complete a task to save their life, woo! Have more red flags than carnival, baby.
100% about what he wanted and what was best for him. Not to mention, y'all, oh my God, just one thing that I can appreciate. I always have said this, that man paid the bills. I was allowed to quit my job and figure out social media.
Okay, sis, I'm with you. I love a good provider. Providers are everything. And I love that he allowed you to go after your creative avenues because he was able to provide for you. I love that for you. I love that for you. But there has to be like a work-life balance. So look at the corporate in me. There has to be a work-life balance or whatever. So he has to be able to provide, but also you can't be completely missing. Like maybe that's me because remember one of my love languages is quality time.
So I could generate a stable income to support myself. But other than that, that man stressed me out. He was disappearing. He was drinking heavily. And I remember when the divorce proceedings started, I went to the house and I just started finding all these different, bottles of alcohol. And I lined them up. And
Man, playing Where's Waldo with liquor? Oh God. I'm traumatized, y'all. And dudes who disappear all the time, a lot of times either they have a whole nother family, they got a whole nother wife, they got a boyfriend, a gambling problem, a boyfriend. How many times? God. Why did I watch this video? I love you, girl. I'm sorry. Let me.
I put them on the kitchen bar so he could see them. Because at this point, I had left the house. I was gone for like 2 months. I left while I was trying to figure out, whether or not I wanted to go through with the divorce or not. Because, y'all, it was a tough decision to come to. I come from a very religious household. And I wouldn't even consider myself as someone who is deconstructing from Christianity. But I consider myself someone who is not.
There's so much in this video. Yeah, a lot of times, like religious psychosis will keep you stuck somewhere. Like, yeah, and I know a lot of people who have been stuck based on their religious beliefs or whatever, and then getting divorced is not an easy decision. Like, oh my God, it's like the toughest. It literally feels like an unaliving. I gotta say a certain way because of YouTube, but there's a grief behind it. There's a fear ahead of it. There's all these things. Yes, okay.
I don't force myself to strictly live by rules and regulations created by people who never knew Jesus, who never sat with Jesus and never spoke with him. And then laws that encourage slavery, laws that encourage misogyny. I'm not beholden to that, right? I feel like I'm spiritual and I have a relationship with my creator now. But at the time it was, oh, God doesn't wish divorce for you. How dare you get a divorce? You don't know what you're doing now. You go to therapy and try to work it out.
Wait, hold up. So you guys know that adultery is supposedly the only reason that you're allowed to get divorced if you go by the Old Testament, and God hates divorce and stuff. But it doesn't say you can't be divorced, but that's one of the main things that they tie you down with. So the thing is with using Bible verses to push certain things. Like one of the main ones that I see people pushing all the time is submission, right? So submission literally right? Under mission, vision, or plan to get under somebody's vision or plan. But a lot of these people take submission as, slave master types. I mean, if you went to that, whatever. But a way to oppress somebody or whatever. But when in the Bible, when he's talking about, the man is the head of the house, right? But they skip all the part where he's like, you're supposed to be loving your wife like God loves the church and all these other, y'all leave all that out. And then when they say you're not supposed to be committing adultery, y'all leave all that. I'm finna stray a little bit, and this video is supposed to be short. The amount of shows with thruples in it, baby. Y'all just with the amount of shows that are pushing thruples. I got a story time for that, but I'm gonna leave that alone. But the amount of shows that are pushing thruples is so wild that yeah, stop. What does Jeremy usually like say? Indescribable? Shut up talking to me. Y'all don't care nothing about what's in that Bible. Y'all just care about what works to suit your narrative. Boy, if you don't get the hell on.
Best thing my therapist ever said to me was, if you don't do something different, you're going to forever be managing his emotions. And thank God that my therapist wasn't a super Christian either, because I would have been stuck in a marriage. And thank God I didn't have my kids. We didn't have no assets together.
Oh my gosh.
Our names weren't on anything. I was able to pay for the divorce. I want to say my divorce cost like $1,200. It was very cut and dry. And it still took him 6 months because he wanted to drag it out. But I want to say the red flags that I ignored was constant just dismissal.
Hold on, before we get her red flags, you know, dudes will drag out a divorce even if the person leave. They would drag. I was listening to, I think it was a radio show, and they were talking about how a lot of time. Oh, I know what it was. It was that Trick Daddy video. I caught snippets, and I'm gonna comment on that in another video. But a lot of these dudes don't really want to be divorced. They don't want to be divorced. Even if their wife left them, it looks better for them on paper if they stay married. They're gonna sneak around and do whatever they're gonna do, but they don't really want to be divorced. They probably low key still in love with their ex-wife, but I want to be the one to tell you, Lord. But anyway, let's finish up. I'm getting messy.
So my feelings disappearing, not saying where he was going. Y'all, there was a time where I had this event to do, and he left me stranded in downtown Atlanta at like 1 a.m. He disappeared. He never even came home. I asked him for a divorce that day. I will never forget, because it was October the 10th. I'll never forget.
Nothing abandoning you in downtown ATI. Ain't they out there with the YNs out there? Jesus. That man didn't care nothing about you, girl. That's the other thing is you need to realize when the person you're with just doesn't like you. He want to be. I was in a relationship with the man. The man couldn't stand my ass. He thought I was fine though. He couldn't stand me. Oh Lord. Okay, let me keep it moving. This was so much of this video. I didn't know I was gonna get this much content. Thank you, girl.
October the 10th. After we had gotten, it was like after our first year of marriage. We were no longer intimate. We were not really communicating. We were just passing each other in the house. Every now and then we would argue about something, but for the most part, I knew it was over and I wanted to go. So and
he was withholding me. I want to hold ninja away. Dang. At least when the dudes be trash and the meat be good. Oh God. I'm sorry, sis.
as I'm trying to work through this, I'm getting things from friends and family, like, just try to work it out. And it's because it's soon. Like, I decided I wanted a divorce like 8 months in.
Dang.
I didn't ask for one till right at 1.5 years. So it was the planning a trip and not having the logistics properly mapped out. So now we're spending unnecessary money and we might be lost in a foreign country. It was disappearing, not coming home, not knowing where you're at. It was allowing friends or family to be disrespectful and not considering my feelings.
Yes.
It was also just a complete lack of consideration. I think that was everything boiled down to not considering.
Yeah, I don't think this dude considered you, and he probably didn't like you like that. And I don't know if people realize with all that cheating that's a form of emotional abuse.
My feelings, and that's a thing for me. I don't want to be in a situation where I feel like somebody don't care about me, because why would you sit up in front of my parents crying, saying you can't wait to marry me, I'm the best thing that ever happened to you, and pretending like you wanted to be a partner in my life is crazy. For you to not be coming home and having a drinking problem. The hell was that about? So in retrospect,
lying and crying.
I think the biggest thing for me was I will never allow myself to be caught up like that again, because people can cry and be in your face and say you mean the world to them and still marry you and treat you like nobody.
Yes.
That's how I felt in my marriage. And I was tired, y'all. I was tired of asking, I was tired of crying, tired of begging, tired of being confused about what we were and what we were doing. Because if you can't talk to your spouse, then who can you really talk to? And the thing that triggered me real bad.
Yeah, I mean, when you have a spouse, the whole thought process is that you have a life partner that you can share your thoughts and your feelings and your hurts and have a nice little cry together if that's what's necessary. But you don't be working out that way sometimes, girl. You don't be working out that way.
at one time is that he called me defiant. And I was like,
Yeah, defiant.
So you think I'm somebody that needs to obey you? And not only do you want my obedience, you want my blind obedience. You want me to not question
and
you.
blind obedience.
And you want me to just, whatever.
Look, I didn't even watch this video all the way through, and I gave that whole speech on submission. I gave that whole speech on submission. What do these people want, bro? Hold on. Okay. Yeah, you know how that goes. But anyways.
Whatever you say goes. And I think that this was something that he was just used to because he was kind of like the breadwinner in his family. But money don't make you smart. Having money don't make you.
That's the other thing. So a lot of times women wouldn't be upset with people providing and doing what they need for them or whatever. If they didn't use that to schmooze women. You can have power, but then when you corrupt that power, Lord have mercy.
You a good decision maker. Having money don't make you a great leader. It just means that you were able to acquire a significant amount of money. So said all that to say, there were signs. And the first sign absolutely was at that wedding. Because being drunk before the vows were exchanged.
Oh, girl, I get it. Like I said, this video was supposed to be a little short video or whatever, but it turned into she's dropping like all the bars or whatever. So when you see the red signs, I mean, be the CB scholar, stuff I can tell you is be with somebody that actually likes you as a person. Be with somebody who actually cares about your well-being. Be with somebody that knows that can communicate with you. Those are all green flags. I said this in a video before. The one thing I admire about men, there are a few things that I admire about men, but one of the things I do admire about men is that they are gonna do exactly what benefits them, what's best for them. I like that. I think women sometimes think that the more they sacrifice, and I remember Tony Gaskins talking about this too. But some of them think that the more that they sacrifice, the more they listen, the more they help, and what did Sherry Seven say? Building ninjas. Before that whole Sherry Seven thing, I think I did a video about building a man. Go to my channel, check it out. It's totally there. I have a bunch of old content on there. You can like go there and I think there's a playlist called Spend the Day with Sepia. You could be there all day if you want to hear me run my mouth. And I was really like, it was like a bike. I was really on it then. So I was really on point then. I'm getting it back. But like I said, do not like be a partner, help that person grow, help them reach their dreams the same way they're helping you reach the dreams or whatever. But baby, just know that person is going to do exactly what is best for them. And it might not be you, baby. Did you catch that, T? And you're going to be sitting here just trying to figure out, how did I do all this for this person? Make myself vulnerable, all this other stuff, only for me to be like left up. But anyways, I just wanted to jump on here because I see a lot of people just out here not getting their love languages met. What was it? Quality time, physical touch, acts of service, words of affirmation, and physical touch. Yeah. So like I said, let me know which one is your love language. I'm gonna repeat once again. Mine, if I'm really thinking about mine is quality time, acts of service, and then what Rick said. Whatever Rick said, y'all. Roll back the video, whatever Rick said. With that being said, I do plan on, I think I'm gonna do the Jesse Wu video next. Shout out to Geraldine, indescribable, yes you are, and very beautiful late, for allowing me to react to her video. Much love to you all. I guess it's time to shout out myself. Check out You Don't Location. The book is on Amazon. I have another book dropping, Island Hopping with Me. It's gonna be a good one. And also I'm going to have some of my merch available. The Haitian Mermaid. I am the Haitian Mermaid. That's me. So go ahead and grab you some of that. I'm gonna have the details soon. But I'm so, it's like riding a bike. It was supposed to be a short video, and baby, it's almost an hour. So why don't you put this on while you clean up, do some homework, all those things, and go ahead and I'm gonna say my signature outro. But before I say that, hit the like button, subscribe, share this with a friend, jump on a playlist and watch it. But I'm going to say my outro. Love who loves you. May God bless you with everything that you need. And the Sepia Scholar is out. Love y'all. Love y'all. Mm, mm, mm,